suddenly felt like...
Hey guys, welcome back to Resistance Chicks, where Leah, Michelle, and Katie Hopkins are your hosts. Today, I asked Leah for a dark background because we are both wearing white, not on purpose, and so what that means is it's going to mess up the lighting for the whole show. But that's all right. I will try to adjust it throughout. I hope you're having a wonderful Sunday. Today is, what is today? The 14th of July.
This is interesting. This is interesting. We're going to the Ukraine for a second because HBO came out with a show about Chernobyl, and everybody got addicted to it. Everybody was watching it, right?
Except us.
Left everybody, but everybody watched it. I did not watch it. But if you know, a nuclear reactor set off radiation, and it became like this area where you couldn't go.
Right.
Well, because people haven't been able to go there, I actually kind of like it. People want to visit it now because it's grown into this untouched area, and it's kind of like this amazing place where nobody's touched it. You know, like the wilds.
Yeah.
It's kind of grown back,
Like Detroit.
Like Detroit. It's actually, I really feel like nature can reclaim things if we just let nature do it.
Yeah.
So the new president, Volodymyr Zelensky of Ukraine, debuted Wednesday a new campaign to make the Chernobyl exclusion zone more welcoming to scientists and tourists. He wants to open it up. Now, after I read,
Is it safe now?
In certain areas, he wants to. I guess there are people.
Okay, but see, I'm not going into certain areas.
They would move the erratic and endemic corruption in the there's corruption in the Chernobyl exclusion zone because people are wanting to go and see it. Now, what's hilarious to me, and you guys probably don't care. After I read this article and I thought about it, I actually had a dream that I went there and I was in the
we're
Ukraine.
Dressed appropriately because they're all in white, and Lee and I just so happen to wear white today.
And I was talking to somebody who only spoke what do they speak?
Ukrainian?
Farsi?
Oh, is it Farsi?
Probably.
Probably.
So anyways, he wants to turn into like a paid like tourist attraction. It says create a green corridor that is safe for tourists to visit and explore the lush natural preserve that has developed around the plant due to the absence of humans. The plant melted down in 1986, the product of the Soviet incompetence. Wow. So you think about it, it's been all these years and things have really grown back. They've had all these. He says the ban to shoot videos will be lifted, as well as other nonsensical restrictions. Let's finally stop scaring people, visitors, and make the exclusion zone a scientific and tourist magnet in the future. So people can learn. There's a lot of wildlife that have come back that they thought maybe had you know, kind of on the verge of extinction and things like that. So obviously, it is the most polluted location on Earth, and they want to turn it into a green destination. Moose, deer, beaver, and owls, to more exotic species like brown bear, lynx, and wolves are all coming back there.
No way.
National Geographic really wants to go back and wants to go there and take video, and so
strange, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just one of those weird things where I wonder, and I didn't have a chance to do this. I wonder if there's a place today. Sorry, I can't even spell. I wonder if there's any pictures I can bring up for you guys. If people have, it is. This is from the Today Show.
Wait a minute. I don't know how you volume. Are you sure that's not the TV show?
It says Chernobyl becomes a hot tourist spot thanks to the HBO series.
But that's just okay. Well, it should switch over in a second. There it goes.
Were evacuated. The area abandoned. But tourists can now come here and see where it happened. Locals say since the miniseries started airing, tourism is up 40%.
It's such a sobering place, but from the other hand, it's a beautiful place.
It's very surreal being here. You know, the radiation is always in the back of your head, but I wanted to see this all so badly that it was a risk I was willing to take.
It's not a risk.
In fact, the radiation is low enough that while living here has been off limits for decades, visiting is safe. When we came to Chernobyl, we found a ghost town.
It's like the clocks just stopped.
This was the local doctor's office.
These are people's medical records, just left on the floor.
We carried a Geiger counter.
So my Geiger counter has started making a noise.
Quite legitimately. It's contaminated much higher than the background.
Still, it's safe to briefly enter a kindergarten, evacuated in a hurry. Children's coat hangers, shoes, a child's bike.
Someone learning music.
Now it's eerily quiet. Or it was until Chernobyl aired. The show, highly praised in America, has been criticized by some in Russia for factual errors and even called propaganda because they say it highlights mistakes made under the Soviets. And inevitably, the tourists visiting here have begun to complain about too much tourism.
There are quite a lot of tourists already here, and it does kind of take away the experience of being in a completely abandoned town. So I think if more and more tourists will come here, that will ruin the experience.
Well, duh.
Pay under $100 to visit Chernobyl, making the area safe, has cost the world millions. The place now a monument to human frailty and a decades-old lesson in the importance of protecting our world.
Crazy.
So there you have it. Isn't that pretty crazy? Yes, they want to make it a tourist spot. I wonder how well that's going to go over.
Tanya DeBear says, I used to watch Wolves of Chernobyl. I didn't even know that was a thing.
All right, I think...
Britt says, Michelle, the people of the UK are still attracting radiation-related cancers because of the Chernobyl radiation dust cloud, according to the NHS.
So,
is that Channel 4?
No, this is
Okay.
Brexbox. This is the Brexit. You can do this.
Okay, good.
So Brexbox episode 1, they created their own YouTube channel. The Brexit people did. I'm going to play a little bit in the beginning, and I'm going to play a little bit at the end, but you guys can go watch the whole thing.
A very warm welcome to Brexbox.
I like it's a catchy name.
Instead of relying on our friends in the media to give us a fair hearing, we thought we'd take matters into our own hands.
Yes, indeed. So what we've done is we've set up our own YouTube channel to keep you well informed and entertained about all things Brexit.
Follow us for regular panels and debates about all we get up to behind the scenes as MEPs.
So we want this to be about politics, but what would politics be without some mischief?
Yes, I think that's very well said, Louis. So stay tuned for some irreverent chat and a big slice of all-you-can-eat Brexit.
It's so fun! I love it!
Cheers to all things Brexit.
And to all the voters back home that gave us this platform to speak for the left behind areas that have been so ignored.
I was going to say, well said, Belinda. So it's been a tumultuous first few days.
It has been intense.
Could you try to surmise for people at home what it's been like? What's the emotional journey been like?
For me, it felt very much like it wasn't 29 MEPs walking into the European Parliament today in Strasbourg. It was 17.4 million people that we were bringing with us to give them a voice and a platform about the way they've been so mistreated and also demonised for 3 years just for simply voting in good faith to leave the political institutions of the EU. So I felt very emotional about it.
What about you, Louis?
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think it was, for me, there was mixed emotions coming into the Parliament to vote, you know, because we shouldn't really be here. We voted to leave 3 years ago, and we're still here. We need to change that. We need to leave.
Yeah, I was going to say, one of the things that I think people haven't quite understood is we are here because we have a job to do, a job that we shouldn't be doing.
Yeah.
But nevertheless, we have to do it well. But you and I have had this conversation. It's been an emotional journey on a personal level.
It has. So, I mean, many of us, you know, aren't what you call career politicians. We got into this through passion. I surrendered all of my livelihood to do this. I had to give up all of my work, and that also comes at great personal kind of cost. Because you put yourself ahead of a parapet, you're out there, but that's part of the game. I think all of us around this table and within the Brexit Party are having a sort of baptism of fire. but it toughens you up quick. But we mustn't let that get in the way, because there's a tremendous positivity out there. What I'm getting from the people back in Britain is thanks. Thank you for standing up for us. Because so many people, as you know, on the campaign trail, all around the regions, around the UK, had almost given up on politics.
Yeah.
I think we're here to reinvigorate that and to give them some hope. And we're going to work as hard as we can for the regions and for the UK.
So one of the things...
So, and now
I wonder where they are with all that background noise.
I think they're at the European Parliament. So
yeah,
now
that's crazy.
I want to show you he says there's a lot of bad things, but then there's some good things too. So
sitting at the back, and even though it meant less speaking time, for me it was about principle, because I'm fed up of politicians compromising principle for political gain. And we wanted to stand up and say, no, this is fresh, this is new, we are a movement, not just an event, and this is about changing politics and sticking by your principles.
Now, the irony is, we're the biggest single party in the entire blooming place. They put us on the back row. In this chunk in the corner. But
because they don't want us here.
But as you've seen, we can still dominate the entire press cycle. We can still run the roost. By being clever and by being defiant and being refused to be silent.
And also the back turning for me, you know, what worries me about the EU is they use this tactic to conflate the EU, any criticism towards the EU with criticising Europeans and Europe. And it's very dangerous, because what it means is as soon as you criticise the EU, they can say xenophobic, anti-Europe. And we're not anti-Europe, we're not anti-Europeans, they're our friends and allies. We reject the EU political institutions. That needs to be made clear. Our protest yesterday was about the EU political institutions, not our EU friends, our European friends.
Well said.
And I think it's important that people understand how this Parliament works. You know, and we do get a lot of stick.
Because people don't know in England.
No, they don't.
They have no clue.
They don't understand, and I think that you know, all of us have got stick about, you know, what we're going to do here, or we're just going to sit back and take our money. But you know, as Martin said, we've been working really hard, and I expect it to continue like that, and we can make sure that the people back home know exactly what's happening.
Okay, so time is tight, but so on the upside, there are some nice things about being here. You can see how you get sucked in, can't you? So just very quickly, tell people what we get.
Chauffeur-driven cars, chocolates, as many members of staff really as we like, within £250,000 a year. I mean,
you have to like a chauffeur-driven limo.
It is unbelievable. You get treated like kings here, and I think it's a way of turning Eurosceptics into the club. It's almost like being bought.
And you turn up, you basically turn up to your office.
What's in your bag, Martin?
You get a free rose, and
someone gave you a rose.
And they're bribing us. There's free champagne, and this is my favourite. There's bags of chocolates, but this is my favourite. David and I found this in our mailbox. We got a blooming invite to meet the Dalai Lama.
And this is day 2.
But before we get too sort of jokey about it, the entire point of this is to make us feel important. It's to make us feel part of this empire. It's to make us enslaved to the luxury of what this place
is. So easy to get sucked in.
Totally. And that is why you can have a nice 20-year career, signing on the dotted line, €300 a day, champagne, Dalai Lama, chocolates. Who wouldn't want to do it if you're pro-EU? It's a charade, and we do not want to be a part of it, and we cannot be bought with these trinkets.
Absolutely.
And that is a very good place to stop. You know, our job is to get us out of the EU, and our job right now is to get us out of this place. So thank you very much indeed for watching. Thank you.
So I wanted you guys to see that.
Fun.
I wanted you guys to see that. I wanted you guys to see what they said about being bought off. Champagne.
Calling it out.
Champagne for every member.
Oh my gosh, on day 2. Wow. Now, aren't they there for a significant amount of time, like weeks?
Well, they're there hopefully until October 31st. But we shall see. And I think there was one
very exciting times.
More thing. Oh yeah, if the Tories fail to deliver October 31st, this Brexiteer. Now listen to
I
this.
voted Conservative much of my life, but now I support the Brexit Party, and I'd like to see Nigel Farage in number 10. Can you promise me that we will definitely leave the EU on October the 31st?
Now, what I love about that is it's a little clip that Nigel Farage
Not only his
shared.
accent, which is fantastic.
Oh my gosh, I know. It sounds like a BBC drama. But he says, "Can you?" He wants to see Nigel Farage in number 10, and I just love that. Let's see.
Not just a conspiracy theory. If it's the truth, we want you to like, we want you to comment and subscribe to Mass Faith 3 and our channel Resistance Chicks. You can find us on www.resistancechicks.com.
Ring the bell for notifications.
Patriot Gallery has us everywhere. Mines, Bitchute, Freezoxee. everywhere you can imagine. I know that Mike Adams has Brighton. They're launching new stuff there. Jay's still working on his Patriot channel and VTuvo. So I'm hopeful for the future. I'm hopeful that our voice isn't going to be silenced. We had the Free Speech Summit that we covered on Friday, which is really, really exciting. So send us your letters to P.O. Box 107, Milford, Ohio 45150. We will read your stuff on air. I haven't had a lot of letters in a while. I would like you to write
So we're
us.
doing a diamond and silk thing. They always match, you know that.
Really?
They're sisters, you know that. I always thought they were like friends. We went to their sisters.
They're
They are sisters.
No, they are.
Somebody
How
said,
did
yeah,
I
they're
not know
sisters.
that?
They are sisters.
So somebody had
by the
said
way,
on the comment. Are you
yeah,
gonna tell
go
them?
ahead.
No, you tell them.
No, go ahead.
On our coverage of it,
yeah, on our coverage.
When we talked about Diamond and Silk being there, somebody left a comment, and forgive me for not remembering who it was and what your name was, but on Facebook,
he called up two wonderful ladies or whatever, and somebody said, "I didn't know Leah and
Michelle were black." And I will take that as a compliment all day long. We love Diamond and Silk.
Yeah.
So, all right, you guys, we're really going to go this time. Be blessed today, and we love you.
I was cold.